Thanks, George. Thanks, James. Thanks, Fox and Crow. Nancy, bartender. Crushed velvet curtain. There's a lot going on here. Now I feel like I have to be mature, which is tough. Thanks, George, for setting me up. I guess I'll just start going. I don't know. There's just going to be a whole bunch of stuff that I think I have just like sort of back and forth going. Some longer stuff, some shorter stuff. I've been lately sort of obsessed with Rupi Kaur. And a lot of people will be like, why? And if you want to ask me later, you can ask me. I have a lot to say about her. Yeah. Heard of her? Never heard of her. Wow, that's weird. Well, usually people have. But yeah, like, we can talk about it later. Anyways, in my dream, I begged you to pay the rent. Bad. But you had killed the landlord. Good. And took out the recycling. Thanks. Hey, Mom, please fucking don't vote for Pete. I love you so much. These are the Rupi poems in case, yeah, anyways. The earth makes broken look sexy, pretty, glowing. The thing you fear most sends you a golden hour nude. Anyways, here's Wonderwall. I bucked through the screen door to float away on blonde cords of tenderness, feeding my sweat prissy on all the front porches of the world, evening like a horse field in the steel pond of the new moon, dabbing my forehead, waiting for God and the all-night hounds, knowing the distances from my heart to your pink magician's transmission. In this strain, grief pours into me, a Russian lullaby. Why can't you comfort the wet kisses or the smell of sperm, moaning viaduct, the Damascene traipsing echoes suggest sly books. A spring never shown, yet I know its yarny sound. I am the river your father told you not to worry about. There I go, drugged, polluted, killing bald eagles one generation at a time. The thinness of it coughs the overpass. Dear eyes flit lunarly in the median 4 pairs of gens. And I didn't mean to call you that. You fished my dick out from my jeans. The blue MDMA cathode dash light, raw lobes, hand on my knee, 5th gear. This Ford Ranger I bought on Valentine's Day from Periwinkle. The Saturn neck of the thrush awake in the elven temple, and we're naked, running. They steal us away piece by piece. The medicine fails. This is not the version of the story of the boy who learns a valuable lesson. In the stead of a larch, I am going to tuck myself into the dream work of the turnpike. It does hover and hover above us, machine heat rereading itself. I am not talking about death. I am talking about keeping a promise with Earth. These are a lot. They're all new, I guess. They're all new. I don't know. I don't want safety. I want freedom and how it can hurt me. A guillotine with racing stripes. Nice try, officer. Slight autobiography. Yes, that's my heart painted in the ancient field below the power lines. Their topaz gestures ramble wildflowers surround the copse and erupt. All day long you flung story with roses and how you hate your hair so lovely in this breeze. Hills appeared to mate, but they are actually falling asleep for each other, running blood into themselves. You read Catullus aloud to be devastated in the street. Being devastated on the corner is so New York. I'm going to street beautifully tonight for a bit. Data helixing out of the dawn-hewn world. Trees sip their color back. Hymns polish the heart. October unpacks a mission of burnt arrangements, and the leitmotif of the day repeats a twin highway. Hadn't eaten in years. I wait like a dog for your musk to tuck me in. An aorta of splendor, a lush mix of years. To pump a slurry of unmade beds, sweat, and liturgical weather. To feel small with you in the warm palm of the earth. turn to its faggy, radiant disco, thrushes flexuous on the wire, plucking lilies, and clouds make things longer here, too. Thank you. All right. This one is called Gay for Pay. Hello, Mom. It's Bernadette Meyer season again. I'm an overripe strawberry at the back of the bus, catapulting downtown, bubblegum, and the end-of-the-world magic. I think love is a balcony you can holler from down the Cointreau avenues. I've got other plans. Choose your fighter to avoid scams. Deal face-to-face. A prayer is performed from crook knees, right? Looking up at him from the church I quick built. A fantasy growing mold. Draw curtains on the violette future. Any takers? You're breathing some origami of grape I ripped. And of course drawn to orange because of its proximity to gold. Reckless hydrogen construction sites hovering in their quick tangerine nectar above the woods. The quick overture of passing through them, and all of us fumble through the piano-made valley, the shadows blabbed on the epoxy moon, and the tongue spread eagle or the sweet pond green. Sure, you won't notice the weather until it changes, or the waitress snaps back. It dies. The dedication is, if you need this poem, it's for you. All right. This is a sonnet, but not a sonnet. The title just remained because I couldn't think of anything to call it. And it was originally a sonnet, but it just got hacked up. It's after a Joanne Kiger poem. Number 3. These are famous times, I am sure, good, but scary, broken up the holler sky, over the rash, balsam turbines drum. I miss you, somehow, roll over my skin. Glued rush, folded air, the hot divine, swells labia over the world. Perhaps it's called regret, but write it graceful like it came from the radio's purple ripple, once passed over the lips of our dreamer. I'd made for you ripeness and bloom. Little birds curdle the morning, next of kin to a cloud, floss-like downloading the cursory language of heartache, shadows, waiting to be touched, to ruin this astonishment. This version of the story dazzles to a coma. The weather is the museum of the day, and outside is a questionnaire. Anticipation is hurried color, opening a slow, flawless raga, the obscure and flamboyant autobiography of the world. I felt self-conscious bringing 2 beers up here, so I'm drinking one, but I will wait, as is polite, to have the second beer. I think I won't subject you to all that. Anyways, Anathema 1. Where are my torn cushions, copper cloud, cinnamon? I'm calling you so high, crying, fiberglass winter air, easily flossed out amber, pastures go to sleep, stepdaughters, time machines, pink headlights, cicadas. Summer calls surnames, robots doze, ear to the tender door jam. Sometimes, Quaker father of oil, electric light I prefer to refuse, only for him crying in the glossy holly. You glitter coarse and honey oceanly, pulling away hot flutes from the tongue's pulse, sweeter than fruit we've grown and shined. Our man is in the aquarium of his decision, pleading a common moisture to remember, conversationally leading a horse to joyous fracas. But you'll lavender away, even then, riding upon 2 acres of laminated red sangria. With every sunrise, these highways ejaculate starry detention, adorned with sissy motherfuckers like us. Simmer in your holy season on the river, the wealth of the nation we wish to destroy, where the Venus of all things hangs like an expired passport. The fires of banks warm us as evening pirouettes in a frost, the sound of a cloud forming. You, those beautiful hours, 3 cigarettes, bright enough now to think, half of a country song. You can tell your friends that I was wrong. Yeah. I just realized that the pages that I printed were double-sided, so I was like, wow, I have so few things to read. And then I was like, just kidding. Refresher. Don't take that way home. Say burnt domain. Say communist. It's not bad. Say bonfires and rotaries. Say triage. Lunar abattoir. Now give it back. Cloud idiom. Explain, please, how does space end? Obverse guts wrapped candlelit, lace adorned, our great capital. Holler out the flower box. What exactly is a dream? A courier, invoiced sadness, shambolic detention. In the slow Chevrolet gauze of summer, he was becoming less important to me. Not true. But I grew to love that room. Runaway supernova. Say empire. Homoerotic lilac. Never empire. The road barely kissing the sky. We're together in the slurp of the future. Still paying rent. Plotting for cream. Say diamond. Triangulate pleasure. Insane. In onyx, fillet the dream. And I did. My sweet, etc. The algorithmic version of myself. How's that going? Enchanté. Say Datura 404. Swerve. The soft bolero pistol of the day rolls clever weather and a commitment louder than a notion of anodyne. I guess I could love the warm grapes of your laugh. Say aid, huddle, ditto. Shove me somewhere nice and hot. And the wrens crumple from the square, dizzy as Sappho, and the ripple of camouflage scansion we've been had. Night puts its anti-blue paws upon me. Say trance, feel trance. Pentameter just leaking from my teeth. Will win. Pentameter's just leaking from my teeth. Don't take that way home. So I have time. Okay, cool. Great. Right. This one is called Mountain Town. I'm originally I grew up in New York, grew up in upstate New York, in Albany, which is, I guess, like actual upstate. I don't know. It's like a whole thing that it's a hill people are willing to die on. I don't know. I have many friends that are like upstate, like above 14th Street. And I'm like, whoa. I don't know what to tell you there. But I've been every 5 years I kind of freak out and I leave New York and then I come back. The last freak out that I had was a 2-year sustained freak out in North Carolina in Asheville. Right, yeah, sustained freak out featuring double IPA I don't know, white people with dreads. It's like what Asheville is all about, I guess. This is I guess an ode to that. This is called Mountain Town. Memory, a tender shuffle of your cards. I'm the coconut-scented pool boy of everyone's hearts, softly reaching for the muck, the fallen dead leaves. Sure is hard to love a man like you. Grime on all walls, we dove together in sweet heat. Farewell is how do you do, a donation-based hello, waiting for the crowd to give you some space. Breathe and tilt towards the gold pew, pleading ecstasy in the street. The sensual kiln, federal blue night speeding in a Mayan freeze, the digital grapevine, a requiem for unsung underground rivers. We might refer to the Pennsylvania climax through the serene cash point oasis suggesting tears. Makes the city pretty. Cellophane glued, the gingivitis end of the day valley, sunset inverted smile, getting fucked on the slick diaspora. I walked calmly to the edge of you. Waltzed upon the currency of the bus-flavored wind. We spindled down the faces of our kneeling crimes. We didn't call them crimes. We buried ourselves in the rippling plaza, bruised with pigeons, sealed in an envelope of sighs. I fell for it. Just think, we'll soon all be dragged under too. You were a faggot long before you wanted to be one. I guess I probably should have told people that I would say that word at the end, but fuck, I said it. Sorry. I don't know. Whatever. I can say it. It's mine. Ad hoc sonnet. That's also not a sonnet. Years have passed, but I suppose the best place for trauma appeared at last